Welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Kim.
And I'm Brandon.
And today we're going to be talking about a pretty famous actress that I think both of us know for sure. Recently she's been in a lot of things that won many awards, and she's just a rising star in Hollywood, and that is Emma Stone. We're going to learn about how she got all the success she has. Now, Brandon, how do you define success for yourself?
Success. I think success is a hard thing to define. A lot of people define it like you have to be rich, and you have to be famous, and you have to be well known, or something of that nature. You have to be powerful. I can't get those things. So I've lowered the bar of success. I say success is just being better than I was yesterday.
There you go. That is what success means to you. That's good.
What about you?
I think, at this point, when I was younger, I wanted to be famous or, have a lot of money or things like that. But I think at this point, if I'm happy, then that's a success.
Yeah, I think, and that's the whole point. A lot of people who are rich and famous, maybe they're not happy.
True, yeah,
So,
you never know.
Yeah, you can be successful in a lot of different ways.
Well, let's find out how Emma Stone got her success and maybe what she has to say about that in Emma Stone, A Long Road to Success. This is part 1.
When Emma Stone was 15, she gave her parents a PowerPoint presentation that was titled Project Hollywood. In it, she tried to persuade them to let her quit high school and move to Los Angeles to follow her dream of becoming a professional actress. Her proposal worked, and it wasn't long before she and her mother took off for Hollywood and started working on a career that would make her a star.
All right, let's get into our article. It begins, when Emma Stone was 15, she gave her parents a PowerPoint presentation that was titled Project Hollywood.
Whoa,
so she knew very young that she wanted to be an actress, only 15, so not out of high school yet, and she already made a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah.
Good on you, Emma.
Wow, she was really young. A lot of people, they don't know what they want to do until they're a little bit older. Even in university, some people change what their major is, so they change what they want to do with their life to some degree. But at 15, I agree, that's pretty young, but good for her.
Yeah.
It continues on. In it, she tried to persuade them to let her quit high school and move to Los Angeles to follow her dream of becoming a professional actress.
Well, that's quite a big ask for a lot of parents. I
That's
think
bold.
most parents would be like, no, you stay in school.
So let's see here. Quit high school and just go. Maybe she was already super smart and she's like, I finished all those books.
Well, I think there's a little more to this story. If I recall correctly, she was acting as a child, so it's not like she just woke up one day and went, I'm going to be an actor. Time to make a PowerPoint,
So she's been doing this for a while, and that's why
I think that's more reasonable. Yeah, you don't just wake up one morning and say, hey,
I'm quitting school.
Quitting school. Okay, so she decided to try and persuade her parents. So when you persuade someone, you try to convince them to let you do something or for them to do something. You want to give them information that will kind of make them make a certain decision that you want. So for example, the salesperson persuaded George to buy the more expensive sofa. He said, look at this sofa, it's high quality, the material's good, it's comfortable, and it's only $10,000.
Not as bad as that other one you were looking at.
Yeah,
Get the good
no
one.
good. No good.
I had a car salesman try to persuade me to buy a more expensive car. I said, no, car salesman, you go away.
That's good. Good for you.
Yeah. Well, another word we have is quit. And to quit something is when you have it stop. You make it stop at your will, when you want. So the example sentence is Tara quit her job to go back to school. And you can quit lots of things. If you're playing a video game and it's time to go, you can quit playing. Or if you're picking your nose, your mommy can say, quit picking your nose. You can say, I don't want to quit. Well, let's continue on with the article. It says, her proposal worked. And it wasn't long before she and her mother took off for Hollywood and started working on a career that would make her a star. Wow.
Her parents are like, all right, let's go.
Maybe they saw something in her. They said, you know what? You're good. Let's do it.
Sure, why not? You can always take a chance, and if she had failed, she could have always ended up coming back and going back to school. So maybe they thought, okay, let's give it a try.
Wow, that's some good parents.
Okay, so she wanted to make a career out of acting. So a career is the work that you do, sort of like a job, except your career is going to last your whole life. It's the thing that you want to do with your life. So maybe you want to become a doctor. So that's a medical career in the medical field. It's not a job you have for a short time. So in the US, when you're 16 or 17, you're working a part-time job at 7-Eleven.
Not a career.
That's not a career because it's just for a short time. A career is meant to last your whole life.
Yeah, and I think not everybody takes on a career for their whole life. Some people do, but nowadays it's kind of changing.
Yeah, some people are not real interested in having a career anymore. They want to kind of change jobs. Okay, so our example, Martin is interested in a career in medicine. So he wants to be a doctor, a nurse, an anesthesiologist, something like
along
that.
Those lines. Somebody at the hospital, probably.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I wanted my career to be a police officer.
Okay.
When I remember I was 5 or 6 years old, I thought, I want to be a police officer.
And that's a career in law enforcement.
Yeah, and when I grew up a little bit more, I thought, no, I don't want that career anymore. I want to do something different. And actually, throughout my life, the idea of what my career would and should be has been changing.
Yeah, and it will.
Yeah, and so some people, they might do a job for 5 years, 10 years, and they say, you know what? I want to do something totally different now.
Yes, and we would call that a career change when you decide at some point in your life that you want to do a different job.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break and let's find out what happened next after Emma Stone and her mom moved to LA.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这次要介绍的人物是 Emma Stone， 艾玛史东。她在几年前呢，以《越来越爱你》这部电影拿下了奥斯卡最佳女主角，后续也有很多很棒的作品。那我们就来看看她的成名之路。Emma Stone 在15岁的时候，向父母做了一个好莱坞计划的投影片简报，那么就试图要说服他们，让她高中辍学，搬到洛杉矶去追寻她的演员梦想。那他的提案竟然奏效了，不久之后，他就跟妈妈动身前往好莱坞，他们就出发了，然后努力来从事这个会让他成为明星的事业。我们来看3个单字 ：persuade。persuade 这个动词表示说服、劝服。quit 它表示放弃、停止或是离开的意思。那么 career 它表示事业、职业或是职业生涯。我们再来看到单字例句，他写到说 ，Martin 对医学事业感兴趣，也许他想要成为医生啊、麻醉师等等。那我们补充一下，刚刚 Kim 老师讲到这个 anesthesiologist， 我们再念一次 anesthesiologist， 它就是指麻醉师。那这个字蛮难的，我们可以把麻醉学起来 anesthesia， 好，它是拼作 anesthesia。anesthesia， 那我们就可以用这个 general anesthesia 来表达全身麻醉 ，local anesthesia 来表达局部麻醉哦。那么 Brandon 老师聊到他小时候想要成为警察 ，Kim 老师这时候提到 law enforcement 就是指执法单位、执法部门，其中的 enforcement 是拼作 enforcement， 那它就有实施啊、施行、执行的意思了。好，这边4个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看第一个重点是这个句型。It is not long before， 或者是 It was not long before， 加上主词加动词，可以表达不久后怎么样，很快就怎么样。像是 They started dating in May and it wasn't long before they became engaged。他们5月开始约会，不久后他们就订婚嘞。那么第二个重点是 take off for 加上名词，它可以表达启程、动身前往什么什么。像是 The journalist got a mysterious call before he took took off for Syria。那位记者在启程前往叙利亚之前，接到一通神秘的电话。好，那么第三个重点是 work on 加上名词或动名词，表达致力于某事，努力从事或是着手进行某事。例如Ian has been working on controlling his temper. Ian 一直在努力控制自己的脾气。那么第四个重点是 make， 它可以表达使成为、使变成。我们常常就会用 make 加受词，加上一个名词或形容词去表达。例如 ，dancing makes him happy， 跳舞使他变得快乐。那接着回到课文中。
Stone didn't find success right away. In between taking online classes and working at a bakery, she auditioned for everything that she could. She tried out for every Disney TV show, but she didn't get a single part. When she finally did get roles, they were on television shows that were quickly canceled. Stone's hard work eventually paid off, and after her first film role in the teen comedy Superbad, she landed bigger and bigger parts. She wasn't particular about which ones she took. She played parts in comedies, dramas, and even cartoons. They all helped her build the experience she'd need for her future leading roles.
All right, so we're back from the break, and we're talking about Emma Stone and the amazing things she did with her parents to persuade them to let her quit school and go to Los Angeles for acting.
Amazing, right?
Yeah, really amazing. So I'd like to learn a little bit more, and here we are in the article. Stone didn't find success right away. In between taking online classes and working at a bakery, she auditioned for everything that she could. She tried out for every Disney TV show, but she didn't get a single part.
Oh, so rejection can really hurt, especially in a highly competitive field like acting. There's a lot of rejection.
She's young. She probably had a lot of emotions attached to that as well.
Sure, yeah. Trying to make it in Hollywood, as they say, trying to be successful in Hollywood can be really, really difficult. So, especially when you're a kid.
The one good thing I heard was that she's taking online classes. So she quit going to that high school, but she continued taking high school classes.
Okay.
So she was still learning, which is great.
Yes. Okay, it continues. When she finally did get roles, they were on television shows that were quickly canceled.
Oh, that's too bad.
That is too bad.
But I think that's just the breaks, as they say.
That's just how it is. Like, you hear that story a million times, people that move to Hollywood and they want to make it big and they try, but it just doesn't work out that way sometimes.
You know, a lot of them give up after that. If something they were on was canceled or whatever, it didn't go through, they might just give up. But obviously, Emma didn't give up.
Right, so canceled, the TV shows were canceled. This means that you had a plan that something was going to happen, but then something else happened and it made it stop. So best example I can think of is we had a plan to have a picnic this weekend, but there's a typhoon coming, so we're going to have to cancel it because otherwise we're going to be sitting outside, the wind is going to be whipping around and things are going to be flying through the air and it's just not good for a picnic. You have to cancel it. So TV shows get canceled all the time. There's a plan to have 1 season or 2 seasons of a television show, and in the middle, the network will decide, we don't want this TV show, and they cancel it.
Yep.
It's done. And that's what happened to Emma. So our example sentence, I'm upset because I read that my favorite show has been canceled.
Yeah.
That's happened to me before.
I had to cancel my credit card once. You can cancel a credit card. It was too much money on there, and I had to pay it off, so I just canceled it and paid it off after some time.
Yeah, you can cancel a lot of different things, so, including reservations, credit cards, everything.
Yeah. So, Stone's hard work eventually paid off, and after her first film role in the teen comedy Superbad, she landed bigger and bigger parts.
I remember Superbad. This is a comedy that came out in, I think, 2008.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, so me and my friends all went to see it. I thought it was really funny. I liked it a lot back then, and it's still pretty good today. But yeah, that was the first time that she was ever on screen, which is good. You're auditioning for TV shows, and then you end up in a movie. You can't beat that, huh?
Yeah, and so this is a teen comedy. Specifically, it's aimed towards teenagers, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 is a teen. If you're a teen, that means you're in that age group of 13 to 19. Teenagers. So an example sentence is, the walls in Vicky's room are covered in photos of teen pop stars.
Yep, that was my room when I was a teenager.
Oh yeah?
Lots of like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and, you know, all that kinds of stuff.
Me too. As we continue on, she wasn't particular about which ones she took. She played parts in comedies, dramas, and even cartoons. They all helped her build the experience she'd need for her future leading roles.
Okay, so Emma Stone, she had a rough going at first, but now she's kind of off. You know, now she's off to the races. She's going to become a serious actress.
Yeah, she's done a lot of really great stuff at this point. I
mean,
she's kind of in all these big movies now.
That's right. She's been around for about 12 years now, and she's done a really good job of choosing very interesting roles, which we'll find out more about in our next part.
Yeah.
So we'll see you then.
All right.
Emma Stone 搬到洛杉矶之后呢，并没有马上获得成功。她在上线上课程以及在面包店工作之余，就尽可能的去试镜。她试镜过每一部迪士尼电视节目，但一个角色都没有拿到。等到终于拿到角色时，却是一个很快就下档的电视节目角色。那么 Kim 老师刚刚用到 rough going 来表达，说是这个情况艰难不容易的意思。那么 going 在这边当名词来表达进展的状况。老师还有用到 rejection， 就是在 reject 后面加上 ion 变成这个名词，就表示拒绝。课文接着写到说 Emma Stone 的努力终于有了回报。她在一部青少年喜剧片演了第一个电影角色之后呢，就得到越来越吃重的角色了。最后我们来看两个单字 cancel。Cancel 它表示取消、终止或是撤销。那么 teen 它是形容青少年的。同学们应该知道13到19念起来都有 teen 这个字的13、14一直到19，所以它就是指13岁到19岁的青少年。那么这个字呢，形容词它就是跟 teenage 意思相同。我们再来看这边有个重点，进入文法时间。我们来看这个重点 ，try out， 它可以表达参加甄选，像是参加某个竞赛运动的甄选，或是选拔，或是试镜等等。后面常常会接这个 for 加上名词。举例来说 ，Pam's brother encouraged her to try out for the lead role。Pam 的哥哥鼓励他去试镜主角，希望他会成功。好，那么以上是这个讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
When Emma Stone was 15, she gave her parents a PowerPoint presentation that was titled Project Hollywood. In it, she tried to persuade them to let her quit high school and move to Los Angeles to follow her dream of becoming a professional actress. Her proposal worked, and it wasn't long before she and her mother took off for Hollywood and started working on a career that would make her a star. Stone didn't find success right away. In between taking online classes and working at a bakery, she auditioned for everything that she could. She tried out for every Disney TV show, but she didn't get a single part. When she finally did get roles, they were on television shows that were quickly canceled. Stone's hard work eventually paid off, and after her first film role in the teen comedy Superbad, she landed bigger and bigger parts. She wasn't particular about which one she took. She played parts in comedies, dramas, and even cartoons. They all helped her build the experience she'd need for her future leading roles.
Hey guys, I'm Oliver.
And I'm Jamie.
And today we're going to play a game called Word Jump. We each have 3 cards with a word or phrase that we haven't seen, and we need to work them into our conversation casually. Mm-hmm. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, should I go first?
Sure.
All right. Okay, so, you know, people talk a lot about perseverance and about working hard and stuff like this, and I think that's really important because if you're going to really achieve anything in life, you have to understand that you can't quit at the first obstacle.
That is so true. And I think that applies to a lot of things in life, starting at a very young age. For instance, children, a lot of them will participate in sports or other clubs. And for things like this, sometimes they have to try out for the team.
Yeah, that kind of makes a lot of sense because when you have these kind of tryouts, it can also be pretty challenging. And I know that when I was a kid, sometimes I wanted to try out for sports teams or hobbies and stuff like that, but I felt a little bit reluctant. And my parents would have to persuade me to go. And in the end, they did, and it worked out.
That's great. I'm glad they were able to persuade you to go because I think a lot of people will let the fear of trying out or fear of new things hold them back from trying new things, and I think they're really missing out. So I think, for instance, when it comes to sports, right, it can be very difficult for students to balance both academic life and to balance their sports life as well. But however, I think being a teen athlete really is helpful in many ways in terms of learning how to balance.
Yeah, I think being a teen athlete is something that can really be pretty challenging, but it can also give you a lot of confidence because actually sports in general can really help you develop as a person at a young age. And when you're working really hard, one thing you have to make sure that you don't do is let your motivation be canceled. All right? Don't cancel your plans.
That is a good point. I think, right, you want to keep the motivation going, right? Keep your drive going so that you pursue new things, that you pursue your goals. And I think, let's using the example of teen athletes, right? If they really continue with these sports, they can make it into a career one day if they want to. Some of them won't, but if they want to make it into a career, they can, right? They can be a professional basketball player or whatnot. So
yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
See you next time!